And now we are going to be talking with a special guest, with Mel Renfrew. Thank you so much for joining us here today, Mel. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you, and lovely to join you.
Yeah, it's so good to have you on the show with us. Now, you are going to be talking to us a bit about lifestyle medicine, and please, start off by telling us, how did you get into this? What's the story there?
Okay, so actually it happened about 20 years ago, and I was at a park in Newcastle with my little twin toddlers at the time and a play group, and we were meeting at Black Butt Reserve, and I went from feeling very well and totally fine to 1 minute to in 10 out of 10 pain the next. I thought I was having a heart attack. I had this terrible pain in my chest, and I knew I was about to pass out, to vomit something. I was absolute misery. And luckily I had some friends there, and I just said, get me and the twins home, please. And somebody drove us home very kindly of them back to where my husband was, and he looked after the twins. I said, call an ambulance, there's something badly wrong. And to cut a long story short, I ended up in the Mater Hospital in Newcastle, and they soon found that I had a big gallstone that had found its way out of the gallbladder and into my bile duct. And the doctor explained it to me like it's like having a baby. You're contracting to get this stone out, and that's what caused the 10 out of 10 pain that you experienced. Anyway, from there I had all sorts of issues, had numerous lots of stones taken out of my bile duct by these procedures called ERCPs. I ended up with an abscess on my gallbladder and IV antibiotics. And I had a specialist there at the Newcastle Hospital who he said to me, Melanie, I don't want you to eat any fat. And I thought he meant by that, fried food and things like that. And so one of the times that I was in hospital, because there was numerous times where I ended up in the hospital, I had some raw almonds sitting in a little jar by my bedside, and he went off his nut, not to use it as a pun, but he went crazy at me for eating those nuts, saying they're full of fat, you're not to eat any fat. And so I think it was that whole experience, and he told me I nearly died when I had this abscess, that just sent me on this trajectory of looking and researching and finding out what could I do to fix this. I was only in my early 30s at the time, and I started to find out about whole food plant-based eating, and that eventually led me to the Complete Health Improvement Program, or CHIP. And so it was back in 2012 that I went and did the CHIP program. We were living up on the Gold Coast at the time. And from there, Dr. Hans Deal, explained about eating a whole food plant-based diet and the way it can help you, etc. And so basically that became the turning point for me. I thought, if I've got to look after my health, I don't want any more of these incidences happening to me. And so I then and there changed my diet. And as a teacher, I was teaching at a school on the Gold Coast. I thought, man, I really want to get into this. This is an area of passion for me. It became an area of passion anyway. And so I was running CHIP programs and facilitating those. And from there I ended up doing a graduate diploma in lifestyle medicine at Avondale University, and then went on with the pushing and prodding of my lecturer, Darren Morton. I went on and did a PhD, and have been working in that area ever since.
Wow, what a journey you have been on. And it's taken a little while to get here. Did you say it started about 20 years ago?
Well, that was when I had the gallbladder attack. So, yes, it's been a slow burn.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Wow. And so now you've been working on a PhD. Have you completed the PhD, or are you still in the process?
Yeah, no, I completed the PhD back in 2022.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
So I've been working at Avondale ever since as the course convener for lifestyle medicine. And so we have some postgraduate degrees that we offer in lifestyle medicine, grad cert, grad dip, and a master's now. Okay. But we also offer some short courses. So I've taken a little step back to help look after my elderly parents at the moment, and I'm coordinating our short courses in lifestyle medicine, which is great too.
Okay, so tell us a bit more about these courses, and what can people get out of these courses? Start maybe with the short course.
Okay, so We offer a few short courses, but the main one is the Introduction to Lifestyle Medicine short course, and that's a course that's basically it's a 10-hour course that we do each evening for 5 Wednesday nights in a row, for example, and just do 2 hours at night. And we just cover the main principles or the main what we call pillars of lifestyle medicine, give people a bit of an introduction, overview all the different pillars of lifestyle medicine as they're known now, and it's really like a taste tester for people. The beauty of it is that you don't have to have had a degree in anything else. It's for everybody and anybody. It's lighthearted and fun. Darren Morton, who many people might know, myself and Simon Matthews run that course, and it's a lot of fun where we're just teaching people all about the different pillars of lifestyle medicine.
Oh, wow.
So that's that short course. We do a personalised lifestyle medicine, which is another step further. We do a short course in that as well. And we also do nicotine addiction, vaping cessation training for people who work in that field. It's a very intense course. But obviously, as you can imagine, smoking and vaping is still a big issue for our health. And so we offer a short course in that as well. But yeah, a main one that people might be interested in is that Introduction to Lifestyle Medicine short course, which starts again very shortly in April.
Oh, wow. Awesome. So good. So we might circle back to that one, but what other courses, you said there were some, I guess, longer ones that you teach as well. What can people learn in those ones?
Okay, so basically we have postgraduate degrees, which means someone has to have a bachelor's degree already.
Okay.
And anyone with a bachelor's degree can do a graduate certificate in lifestyle medicine, which is 4 units of work. A graduate diploma is 8 units, and so anyone with any bachelor's degree can do either of those 2 degrees. And we also have a Master of Lifestyle Medicine, and that one is for people with a health-related degree only, so doctors, nurses, physiotherapists, etc.
Oh, so good. Man, yeah. I might even want to get into this. This is something that I really enjoy learning about more is, all sorts of lifestyle things. I don't have a medical degree myself, but I might be able to get into the cert or the diploma. But what kind of things can people learn in these? Like, what are some of like your most favorite points that you teach? Okay, well, basically we do units on the different domains of lifestyle medicine, which is exercise medicine, stress management, connection, managing risky substance use, sleep, and a plant-predominant diet. So we do a food as medicine unit as well. And so we cover all of those areas. I guess my pet area, even though I don't teach it, I'm an educator, not a dietitian. We have a dietitian that teaches our food as medicine area. And I'm happy to share a few tips about plant-based eating. Yeah, go for it.
But yeah, okay. So one of the things that we definitely teach as a core pillar of lifestyle medicine is a whole food, plant-based kind of eating pattern.
Okay.
And what that means is you've got the main food groups are vegetables, whole grains, legumes, fruits, nuts and seeds in smaller amounts. And probably if I share 3 key principles, one of them is diversity. And I think people hear a lot about the gut microbiome these days, and it's really important when you decide to adopt a plant-based diet that you do take care to eat from a wide variety of different foods just to maximise your protein, your fibre, your phytochemical intake, things like that. And so, for example, most plants don't contain all of the protein requirements in one plant, though some do. But if you eat from a really wide variety, you're supporting a really healthy gut microbiome, and you're making sure that you get a whole variety of different fibres and things like that. So a recent study did a study in eating 30 different vegetables a week.
Oh, wow.
And they found that they made up a blend of 30 different veggies and gave it to the people in a randomised controlled trial. And they found that those that are eating that wide diversity of foods really improve their gut health, their mood and their energy compared to their control group where they just gave them bread croutons. But you know, the more diverse amount of food you eat, trying new vegetables, trying new fruits, trying different things that's really helpful.
That's fascinating. So let me see if I get my head around this. Is it because there's different types of microbes, different types of good bacteria that are on the different types of fruit and veggies and nuts and seeds and legumes and things, that when you eat that great big variety, that goes into your gut and it like makes a really healthy combination, and that helps your mood and helps everything move along correctly? Is that what you're telling us here?
Yeah. Well, it's sort of that. It's also a wide variety, because there's not just one kind of fibre, for example. There's many different kinds of fibres. Okay. And so different gut microbes like different kind of fibres and things like that. So the wider the variety, you're just supporting a wide variety of gut microbes. So the bigger the variety that you eat from in terms of our gut microbes absolutely love fibre, Lindsay.
Yeah.
And there's no fibre in animal food. It's all in plant food. So the more, the bigger variety, and that includes things like herbs and spices and a wide variety of nuts and seeds and things like that too, not just leafy greens, for example. So it's if you're eating herbs and spices and things like that, turmeric and all those lovely bright spices, you're adding to the variety and the diversity. Yeah.
Man, this is fascinating. So people will be able to get a lot of really interesting and life-changing information by going through some of these courses.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we look at all sorts of different things. There's lots of, what would you call it, almost like myths out there. We talk about whole grains and, there's this idea, you see whole grains written on the package or made from whole grains, but where we really probably should be talking about things like intact grains.
Okay.
So grains in their whole form, things like quinoa or rice or barley in its whole form, because if you think about grains, the more we chop them up, if you think about oats and you ate the whole oat groat, you've got a lovely slow digestion of oat groats.
Yeah.
Because the body has to work really hard to break down the oat in its whole form. But we tend to cut them into steel cut oats, which is still really good and still very nice slow digestion. But probably the most commonly used form of oat is a rolled oat, where we roll it out after it's been steamed. And when you expose the surface area of food, the more you expose it, the faster it is for the body to break down. And the digestive system, which quickly breaks it down, means a faster release of blood sugar into the bloodstream.
Oh. And does that contribute to things like diabetes or?
Precisely. So all of those things, you don't want these blood sugar spikes. You want a nice, slow digestion of your food. It helps increase the satiety so that you stay full for longer and you don't need to snack, and all of those things as well.
Wow.
So when people go down to quick oats, instant oats, whole grain oat flour, and then the worst of all, refined oat flour, for example, where they've removed the bran and the germ layer, you can think it's just almost like instant sugar into your bloodstream. So we talk about a lot of different things. Obviously, protein's another one. That would be my third top tip is you can get plenty of protein on a whole food plant-based diet, for example, by eating, if we go back to rule number one, which is diversity, and you're eating just from a wide variety of legumes. You've got your chickpeas and your lentils and your fava beans and your black turtle beans, and then you've got all these different lovely seeds, flax seed, sesame seed, pumpkin seed, hemp seed, quinoa. All those different things are really excellent sources of protein. But you don't have, when you're eating meat, you tend to have your protein, but you're also adding added saturated fat and cholesterol and all those things as well.
Right.
Whereas when you're eating a plant-based protein and a wide variety, not just one or two, so yes, you're going back to diversity in those things, you can get plenty of protein from a plant-based diet.
Okay, so I think what I'm hearing here is that there are like two major approaches that we can have to getting protein. We can either eat meat, which is going to have, I guess, a little bit of benefit, but it's also going to come with maybe a lot of like cons, like things that you probably don't want it to come along with so much, but there's another pathway that we can choose, which is a great variety of plant proteins, which is also going to benefit us by having a great variety of plant fibers that come along with it and all sorts of other nutrients. And
Absolutely.
So there are two ways to get your protein, and one is like far superior than the other. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's exactly what you're hearing. So you can have it full of fibre, with antioxidants, with phytochemicals, no cholesterol, low saturated fat, or you can have it, many people don't realise this, but animal-based proteins don't have any fibres in them, so it's not helping your gut at all. No antioxidants, no phytochemicals. Yes, there's protein, but there's also cholesterol, and it's a higher in saturated fat. So,
sure.
You've got these superior plant-based protein, which you can get plenty of when you follow that rule number one, which is diversity.
Awesome. Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. We've only got about a minute left for this conversation. Was there any final thoughts that you'd like to share with our listeners today, or anywhere that they can go to find out more about it, any of this information?
Yeah, sure. So hopefully you can find the link to and provide that link somehow to our guests regarding their Introduction to Lifestyle Medicine short course. I think people would find it very helpful. It's very light, friendly. I do cooking demonstrations online. Darren Morton does some little exercise segments that I think people would really enjoy. And because obviously I'm talking about food, but there's all these other aspects to lifestyle medicine that are really important too. And so, I'd really encourage people to have a think about joining us for that. It's a really lovely taste tester for lifestyle medicine, and who knows, it might set people on the trajectory similar to what I ended up on. But I'm absolutely convinced that we often talk about ultra processed foods and being really problematic in Australia now, particularly with colon cancer and things like that. And so this is another way as an antidote for that, to steer clear of ultra processed foods and instead look for whole foods in their whole form, and lots of plant-based foods.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. We have got some links available for people if they want to have a closer look, maybe get involved in some of these short courses. If you want to send us through #lifestyle, we'll be able to get those links to you. Thank you so much for joining us here today, Mel. Really appreciate you joining us. Hopefully we'll get to hear from you again sometime soon.